Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the Emperor's Club. This is the third book and final book, Checkmate. We're on chapter 4, Common Sense. I like to apologize for talking a little low because some lady pulled up next to me and she was counting my teeth, man. I couldn't get into the flow. I'm not talking to her. And this is for young men. Whew, that was oppressive. Next time I'm parking where no one can park beside me. I'm going to park my car like Lil Pump in the video for Gucci Gang. I'm going to park sideways to make sure no one comes beside me while I'm working. Alright, now we're on chapter 4, Common Sense. So, in high school, my grandmother pulled me to the side. Excuse me. And she said to me, "Young man, don't go to college and get so smart you forget your common sense." And I was floored. Why would you tell me that? Wait, how do you forget your common sense? I mean, who's that stupid? And she was like, there are people that stupid. Just making sure you don't do it. She said she's saying people have common sense, go to college, come back fool. Acting the fool like they don't have a lick of sense in their head. So, being my grandmother doing a job, she made sure, let me know before I went to college. She let me know in 10th grade. Or you don't get so smart you forget your common sense. So now, I couldn't figure out, like, that puzzled me. Like, how can you forget your common sense? But anyway, I couldn't figure it out, so like everything else, I didn't focus on it. Because I couldn't make sense of it. Anyway. It became clear to me in college when I love Sherlock Holmes. Gentlemen, that's on your to-do list. Now, you can read the regular Sherlock Holmes, because I read the regular Sherlock Holmes, and in the library in college, I came across the original Sherlock Holmes. It's a book about that big. But anyway, while reading the book, I understood with my grandmother, man, when she said, don't get so smart that you forget your common sense. This idiot, Donald Trump, as my niece said when she's small, idiot! Excuse me, that tickled my throat. This idiot, I think he wanted to try either heroin or cocaine to see what is it like. What is the big deal? Why would someone do this? Then he wanted to know what it felt like. And I'm like, Sherlock Holmes is really stupid for someone as brilliant as he is. And I said it, I made the connection without realizing it, and then I said, his common sense should tell him he shouldn't mess with cocaine or heroin. I can't remember. That was like what? Back in 1990. I can't remember that. I'm not going back to find out. I know it was one of the powerful drugs that was available in England back then. I'm like, don't you see the zombies around you doing? But you thought that's another thing when you forget your common sense. You start thinking you're special. This has nothing to do with it. But that's what happens. I've seen that happen to people. They forget their common sense and think they're special. Sherlock Holmes probably thought because he's Sherlock Holmes, he can try it and won't get addicted. But the opium dens are full. So you tell me you better than those people? You think you more special than them? But then again, he was intelligent and educated, but he had no common sense. The zombies should have told you not to try drugs. The zombies should have told you, you know what, this don't make any sense. I'm going down the wrong path. Now, I can't remember if he tried it or not. But anyway, I really don't care. But the point is, I understood what my grandmother said. He wanted to see what it was like. He wanted to see what the big deal was. Now, my common sense would tell me, okay, let's just say the drugs was going to cost me to touch heaven. The zombies around me telling me that's too great a price to go to heaven. Is I coming back down? To be a zombie? To be a shadow of myself? To be a burnt out building? That's what we doing now? No, Sherlock? Forgetting our common sense? Gentlemen, don't forget your common sense. Now, in the Empress Club, we value education, we value learning. We value learning, but common sense is supreme. Common sense is supreme. I'll say it again. Common sense is supreme. Use your common sense. Yeah, where was I? No, excuse me. I had a pastor from Texas, and I love how he used to say it. Good old-fashioned horse sense. Horse sense should tell you your common sense. Now, common sense comes in the form, to me, this is what I believe, that common sense comes in the form of that still small voice, or that feeling that you get, depending on where you're from, you've been told, when in doubt, don't. That's your common sense. You don't even have to think about it. This don't feel right. So guess what? You don't do it. Now, how many times you've been places? Well, for me, I can speak for me. I've gone places and I said, you know what? No. Like once I went to Times Square to watch the ball drop, and something told me leave. Something told me to leave. And as I left, it was a group of guys from Queens who started an argument with guys from Brooklyn. Then you had the police in the mix, and then people trying to escape the nonsense. If I hadn't listened to that still small voice that just told me by the feeling, this isn't right, come from around here. Now maybe that has nothing to do with common sense, but that same still small voice, I still consider common sense, because it's a warning. Like the spidey senses tingling. So to me, that's like an aspect of your common sense. Like listen to that, because it could save your life. A few people got hurt. Thank God no one died, but they got hurt. I could have been right there. Well, I listened to that feeling. So that make sure you include that in as a subset of your common sense. Because if anything, I consider to be more supreme than common sense, but I'm just adding that to it because that's important too. To listen to that still small voice, that inclination, that feeling, the shadow of doubt or hesitancy. That could save your life, gentlemen. All right. Now, I think I spoke on this about always listening to your mind. That's a part of it too. To me, that's a part of common sense. Always listen to your mind. I think I told the story in one of the runs how something told me to stop, and I stopped instantly. And about 3 seconds later, a car ran the red light and smashed into a lamppost. I would have been crushed between the two of them had I not listened. Well, that has nothing to do with common sense, but since stuff like that can save your life, it seems absurd, but listen to it, gentlemen. Consider that to be a subset of common sense. See that I was looking at this big grown man disobeying the road sign. So this is what I'm talking about. This has nothing to do with common sense. About why you need well-developed men. Now, a big grown man is doing what he feels like with a vehicle. Now, what do you expect a 16-year-old to do with a vehicle? What can you possibly tell him? He's controlling everything in your face that you were doing. Well, anyway, gentlemen, that was just an example right there of the importance of what I'm talking about. About commanding respect by conducting yourself with respect. As simple as being disciplined to obey the road sign. Anyway, that's nothing to do with common sense, but I just saw that. So I should point that out, that was a living example right there. Oh, okay, gentlemen, chapter 4 is finished. Wow. All right. Remember, gentlemen, your common sense is everything. Always employ your common sense. So when in doubt, don't. If it doesn't feel right, it isn't right. Find yourself in opposite direction. All right, now, that's me. I will see you in chapter 5, manners and respect. It's not something I just talked about there. The gentleman doesn't conduct himself with respect, so he can't command respect from the youngins. So now he just disqualified himself from passing on his wisdom because he's conducting himself in the same manner as a wayward child. Now in the Empress Club, we don't have that. That's why the chapter on discipline was so important. No waywardness. Remember now, the prodigal son was a parable. It was to make a point. None of that here. Don't be the prodigal son. You know what your gift, your part and gift is. A case of Coca-Cola, but no smile. All right, gentlemen. Catch you in chapter 5. Sorry.